Alright, well, I just filmed a vlog and I don't think I hit record. I thought I hit record. I pushed the button down, but it doesn't look like it recorded and the camera turned off because of inactivity. So here's what's going on in a nutshell. We're having rolling blackouts here in Dallas, Texas. Texas is in the midst of a severe winter storm that we weren't prepared for. I have never seen this kind of winter weather in this state, and I've lived here my entire life. Um, so it's about 6:30 now. I get up at 5. Usually I work out, but I'm going to wait until there's some kind of light because I don't want to break my neck jumping rope in the living room and all the lights go out. Because we get like 15 minutes of power and then they cut it off for maybe an hour. That's been going on since about 2 o'clock this morning because I woke up betimes. I think because I was cold and the heat was off, everything was off. But right, so it's rolling blackouts. That means my neighborhood gets a little power, then we get a lot of no power. So other neighborhoods get it because there isn't enough electricity to go around. And this is, from what I've been able to read online on my phone, this is a statewide issue. So I thought it would be a good time to do a vlog because I can't do anything else today probably. It's really overcast. I doubt there will even be enough light to read a book. My computer got turned off, so I turned it on. It decided that would be the time to do a bunch of updates I didn't ask it to do. So by the time it was finally ready to go, power turned right back off. So I just don't anticipate I'll get anything done. Might as well do a vlog because I was going to post a vlog on Wednesday. Didn't know what to vlog about. Problem solved. I just have to look creepy in the dark by candlelight. Good thing I have a lot of candles. But it was really hard. It was really hard to find the matches, even with the light of my phone. I mean, dark means business in this house. So I usually keep the light above the oven on, a few little lights. I keep my running lights on, so if I have to get up in the middle of the night, I can see. I would show you all the snow, but I don't want to open the door and I don't know if, like, it's a teeny bit brighter in here than the camera shows, so I think if I point the camera out the window, you might not see it. Maybe I'll come back when there's light and show y'all. But yeah, so that's what's up right now here in Dallas. Whole lot of nothing. Whole lot of cold, dark, nothing. And it's probably, I don't remember if I said it in this take. I know I said it before the camera shut off the last time I filmed this vlog, but now I don't remember what I was gonna say. That's that's how off kilter I am right now. But oh yeah, that's what I was gonna say. It's just that this might, from what I've read on the internet, this might last through tomorrow, these rolling blackouts. And I mean, the winter storm is here for the week. I think Friday it's going to get up to maybe the 40s according to the forecast. But we don't know what to do in Texas with temperatures this low. 5 degrees? Never heard of that. I mean, dang, even when I was skiing in Colorado and there's snow everywhere and it's the norm, it wasn't 5 degrees. This is crazy. So I apologize. Camera's having a hard time focusing, I think, and so am I, frankly. So I'm gonna sign off for now. I'll get on a little later and show you all the snow. and then I'll probably call it a vlog, because again, don't anticipate I'll have much time to do anything today. I made half a pot of coffee the last time the power came on before it shut off. So yeah, eating is going to be difficult because all of my food requires cooking. I didn't know this was going to happen. So I have some applesauce, I think, that I use if I'm baking and don't want to use eggs, if I want to do something vegan. I guess I could eat applesauce. I won't starve to death. I'll be fine. It's just kind of annoying. Anyway, check in with y'all in a bit when there's some light. Okay, I don't know if you can see me, but the house has gotten too darn cold, so I'm gonna go outside and start the car and let it warm up, and then I'm gonna go sit in the car for a little while. I'm not gonna sit out there in 5-degree weather waiting for the car to warm up though. So let me show you this snow real quick. And can you see? I had to bring in my cacti last night, and this little guy is all bent over. I don't know what's wrong with him, but look at the snow. This is Dallas, Texas. Unreal. It's a winter wonderland. Right, and I'm keeping my hair down to keep warm, so I'm gonna start the car. See you in a minute. Here's the backyard. That tree branch had already fallen down, so the snow didn't do that. Snow doesn't seem to be weighing down the branches on any of these trees. In the spring, that turns into a tree igloo. I like to hang out with people and have long conversations there. Not today, though. And I'm not gonna get out there because I don't want to have to track snow into the house. It's a weird problem to have. Alright, I'm in the car, let it warm up, and it's just not that warm. Fortunately the seat's warm, so my butt's warm, which is an improvement from in the house. Take a look at the inside of my car. I've seen stuff like this in sitcoms before, but never in reality. And here we go. Breakfast of Champions. I don't even know how that got in my cabinet, but it'll probably make this taste good. Like I said, being a Texan, I had no idea this was coming. I had no idea how to prepare for it. I should have bought more canned food. Everything I have is in the freezer needing to be cooked. And I can't cook without power. So, it's cool. It's not really cool. I mean, I'm not going to die. People can live without food. I've got plenty of bottled water. The faucets are still running, but some people are going to die in this. I looked up, what the power companies were saying. Like if you have if you're someone who's in danger of dying if you lose your power, like old people who are sick and need equipment running, their suggestion was to have a backup plan. As far as I know, they didn't warn us they were going to be doing rolling power outages, and I'm on 2 hours and counting now. I turned the porch light on so that I'll know when the power comes back on in the house. And I think I started my car, I think, just in time because it barely started. Because the cold will kill your batteries. So this is crazy times. This is crazy times. I will survive. Not worried about myself. Worst I'm gonna have is discomfort from being cold and hungry. And lesson learned. I'm more worried about the people who are more vulnerable than myself. People who, old people, man, they can't. Cold kills old people. And the people who have equipment that keeps them alive, this is just messed up. Man, I don't know what to do but what I'm doing, so I'm just gonna sit in the car for a while, keep my butt warm, eat some bread and marinara sauce, and listen to the radio, see what's going on in the world, and I'll check in with y'all later. Whew. We're on day 2 of the rolling blackouts. My power just came back on a little bit ago. So I made coffee, everything warm. I've got a space heater warming up my room as rapidly as I can before everything goes out again. Last time the power came on, it was literally for half a second. Like, not even, I looked at the ceiling fan and the power started going on like in a circle, and not even every light bulb came on before it was all out again. So I just went 10 hours overnight with no heat, 5 degrees outside. It didn't get to freezing temperatures inside, but it was still uncomfortably cold. So I'm bundled up. I've got my hair tucked into my hat like Finn the Human. Got long johns on. Look at my underwear. I'm surviving, man. That's what I'm doing. This is still irritating. Got a big crack on the windshield of my car, like running all across it. I'm glad to be alive. It's just, I'm ticked, I'm angry about this situation with the power grid. Because things could have been done. Yeah, the more I'm reading about, just the angrier I get about all of this. I have a friend he and his family were out of power for over 30 hours, and all the hotels in the area are full. And I don't know that they're immune from the rolling blackouts either. So if you go to a hotel, you might still be without power. For most of us, it's just a matter of waiting it out. Like, if we're lucky, we get 2 hours with power. Somewhere between a literal split second and a couple of hours. And then the power goes out, usually for like 6 or 7 hours, sometimes 10 or 12, but I mean, over 30 is obscene. I mean, 10 to 12 is obscene. It was supposed to be 45-minute power outages, but I don't know of anyone who's experiencing that. So, I have a few friends still whose power hasn't gone out. One of them just told me their power went out for a split second, about the same time my power went on for a split second. So, who knows? I don't know how long this is going to last. I'm cooking some real food, hoping the power stays on long enough for that to that to be a thing. I did finally eat something other than bread and marinara sauce yesterday, but that's been my standard diet. And applesauce, that I normally wouldn't have applesauce, but I have it for vegan baking recipes to use instead of eggs. So I've been eating applesauce like I haven't eaten applesauce since I was in preschool. I associate applesauce with preschool. Like it's training food for getting off baby food or something. But you know, it works. It keeps you from starving. I haven't mixed the applesauce with the marinara sauce yet. Always say yet. You never know where life's gonna take you. So anyway, just wanted to check in on day 2 while there was some power. And I mean, other than that, nothing's really changed. There's nothing much that anyone can do but just survive. It's really fun. It's really fun, he said sarcastically. Oh well. It could be worse. It could always be worse. As Qui-Gon Jinn said, there's always a bigger fish. You know, and you don't want to get eaten by the bigger fish. I'll check back in later. It's 2 days later, the snow is melting. It's still freezing. There are all these birds bouncing around in the yard. Oop. Things are coming back to life. So I just came inside from watching the ice melt. It seems like it's been weeks that we've been frozen in here in Dallas, but it's literally only been 3 days. But yeah, temperatures are still freezing, but the ice is starting to melt. I'm running a little bit low on food. I mean, I have enough to get through a few more days if I need to. I should be totally fine. But I was reading about how a lot of the grocery stores have had to throw out a lot of stuff because they lost power and all of the food spoiled. So to ease my mind, I took a walk earlier this afternoon just down the road to a little bakery that's on the corner of my street that I've never been into, and it was closed. I just wanted to put myself at ease that should I run out of sustenance here, I can easily walk and go get food because it's too dangerous to drive. For sure. Like, my whole street is a solid sheet of ice. There is no way I could drive anywhere. So anyway, yeah, I took a walk, and then I walked a little ways down from that after I found it to be closed, and there was a food mart like right next to it that I guess driving past it for years I had never actually noticed. So I walked in, and they don't sell much aside from chips, cookies, and beer. So I bought some chips and cookies just so I'd feel like it was a successful hunt. Walked back home, and I don't feel trapped anymore because I did that. Because I went out and I got food. I mean, technically, I guess it's food, but I proved to myself that I'm not helpless, even without a car. If I must subsist on Doritos, I have the power and the freedom to do so. So, meanwhile, I'm gonna try to eat properly for the duration of this freeze and just feel a little bit less trapped. I mean, it turns out the trap was up here. I was trapped up here in the ice because just right down on the corner, there's a food mart with chips, cookies, and beer. So none of these are things that I include in my regular diet, but sure beats starvation. So I'm gonna be fine. All my friends seem to be accounted for and doing all right. No one that I know personally has frozen to death during this catastrophe. Of course, our effing Senator Ted Cruz, a man I despise, got caught skipping out of this and going to Cancun for a vacation to wait out the freeze where his people are suffering and some dying. While the guy I voted for, who lost the election, Beto O'Rourke, is here setting stuff up to try to help people. He's actually in the trenches with us, and I'm like, I never understood why anyone voted for Ted Cruz anyway. All the man ever does is campaign. He doesn't actually do anything of value for the people of Texas or for the people of the United States of America. He is a bad politician. So I will continue to not vote for the man. I'm really hoping, just our slimy Texas politicians have been showing their true colors the last 3 days. Stuff I already knew, but it's kind of under a magnifying glass that these people are slimy. Didn't vote for our governor either. He's a piece of work. I'm hoping Beto O'Rourke runs for governor when next the opportunity presents itself. I really want things to turn around in this state. Stop being so arrogant and stupid and right. I'm not gonna get too political right now. It's what's on the forefront of my mind and has been. Aside from survival, it's anger at the people running the state who aren't really running the state for the people. They're cutting corners and not winterizing our power grid and and trying to blame everything on clean energy when it's so ridiculous. I got no room for it in my life. Just let's vote these people out and get some politicians like Beto O'Rourke who actually care about the people of Texas. Let's get these slimy mofos out of office forever. Maybe I should run for office. I should run for city council or something. That would be funny. But I'd mean it if I did it. I would I would be doing it to serve the people, because I'm so tired of dirty politicians. I am so tired of dirty politicians who only serve the wealthy elite, corporations. They do not care. They do not care about all of their constituents freezing to death in a winter storm. They do not care. Like that one mayor in Texas who had to resign. I'm surprised he resigned. These people have no shame generally. But he got in hot water because he basically told the people to suck it up and stop whining about freezing to death. Just saying it's not the government's problem. You need to figure out a plan for survival to take care of your family. F that guy. That's what I'm talking about. Slimy politicians who do not care about their constituents. They only care about holding on to their power. They only care about telling you whatever lie you need to hear in order to be convinced to vote for them. And it's not that hard, It's not that hard to tell that they're lying. It's not that hard to do just a tiny bit of research and figure out who's lying about what when it comes to political campaigns. But a whole lot of people just don't want to take the time to do it. And so if you tell them a lie that is what they want to hear, if it's what they want the truth to be, a lot of times people will simply accept it as the truth because it's convenient to do so. And that, I think, is the real problem. That is how a slimy politician gets people to vote against their own best interests in an election. And that's why Texas is run by slimy politicians. So yeah, I'm against it. Maybe one day I'll put my money where my mouth is and run for some sort of office. I wouldn't expect to win because I'm not going to... there's just certain things I don't believe in when it comes to life, really. Were I to get fully into politics at some point, were I to run for an office, I wouldn't do it by pretending to be something that I am not. I wouldn't do it, I wouldn't kiss any babies or wave any Bibles unless I had a compelling personal reason to do so. So yeah, I wouldn't expect to win, but if I did, again, I would embrace that experience and try to be a genuine representation of the interests of the people who put me there, who put me in office. But I wouldn't lie about anything, I'm not afraid of scandals. If it's about something real, like, I'm not gonna... there's just certain things I'm just not gonna do just because it's not me, So I can't imagine any scandals coming up that just wouldn't be stupid. But, that's, I guess, the way I'd look at it. If I were to run for office, I would just, from the outset, decide to be genuine, to be as genuine as I can be, to be a real person, and not try to convince you that I'm who you wish I was. To tell you who I really am, and if you want me to be your representative, you know who I am. I mean, that's something I noticed. I was talking to my friend Nick Aston. He came over last weekend to film a Conversations in Sunglasses episode, and afterwards we were still wearing sunglasses, so... But we were talking, we realized that our conversation off camera was no different than our conversation on camera, and I was like, yeah, because when we're on camera, we're being genuine. That's not a fake persona. So, I mean, I would tackle a political campaign the same way, but I don't know if I'd have the heart for politics. It's just, I feel like, there's mindless complaining, which is when you're just like, that person's doing a terrible job, these politicians are slimy and they don't care about the people. And then there's constructive criticism, where you're offering a solution. And, in this case, what is the solution? The solution is we need better politicians. We need politicians who aren't slimy liars, who only represent the wealthy elite and corporations and big business, like they're all about profits and cutting corners. We need politicians who care about the people. So if that's my criticism, then I need to at least be open to being a part of the solution. And the only way to really be a part of the solution is to get involved in politics, like on the front lines. And yeah, I just don't know, like, because I don't care about money and stuff. Like I would hate campaigning and trying to get donations and stuff. And the people who were my team would hate me because I wouldn't BS just to get money. Like, it would all have to be real. Like, I wouldn't shake hands with slime balls to get money. Like, I like Bernie Sanders, how he doesn't take big giant corporate donations. Elizabeth Warren, I think, ran the same kind of campaign. But it's so much work. It's so much work just getting on the phone and talking to people and trying to get money. I hate that. I hate that part of it. The rest of it, like being in there and fighting for legislation that helps people and pushing for reforms that help people, I could be all about that. It's just the campaigning. I don't know. It kind of makes me sick, but one day, if I finally feel just that I must do this because of my, like right now, I can get behind someone like Beto O'Rourke in Texas, who, from what I know of the man, which is his public persona, what he has presented to us shows a politician who pretty much falls in line with my values. So it's not like there's no one running for things that I can't, no one running that I can get behind. But if it ever came to the point where there were no good guys in politics in Texas, which, I mean, we're darn near that point, and I might be talking out my butt by thinking that I don't have some social obligation to get more hands-on involved in politics. But yeah, if ever it gets to the point where I'm like, yep, Glenn's got to run for something, Glenn's got to get his hands dirty in the political arena. I don't know. I'd need a really good team, is what I'd need, because I would suck at campaigning. And I'd kind of be proud of that. Like, I would suck at political brown nosing. Like, and don't get me wrong, like, I worked in a church for 8 years, and that's a microcosm of politics. Like, I was able to reach across the aisle. I was able to get things done. I was savvy. I was good at 4D chess. Like, to the point that I realized I still play 4D chess with people in order to protect them. And I had to talk to my shrink about it when someone pointed it out to me. And I was like, oh, that used to be a defense mechanism when I worked at the church for 8 years. It was... Working at a church is very Game of Thrones. Not gonna lie. It is not for the faint of heart. So you have to develop some political claws and fangs and subtleties, and you can do that without selling your soul, without diminishing your integrity. You can do that as a genuine person. You can diffuse conflicts without sacrificing who you are. So, I think, personality-wise, I could do well in politics. I just don't think I would love it. Because, you know, people stress you out when they just will not see reason, or when they're being adult toddlers and throwing tantrums over stupid things like, well, we don't want change because it's different. Doesn't matter if it's going to save the country or people. Like, doesn't matter because we don't want change. Like, those people are very difficult to negotiate with. But it can be done. All you have to do, and I make it sound so simple, all you have to do is figure out what really matters to them. Like, present the problem from their perspective in a way that they see a problem for themselves that needs to be solved, and lead them to a solution that actually benefits everyone. That's the sort of stuff you have to learn to do if you want to survive 8 years in youth ministry, which is a field where, you know, most youth ministers last 18 months. That's the average, 18 months. I was there 8 years. And could have kept doing it for 100 more. I loved that work. I loved working with people. But I did not love the politics. I did not love the dirty politics that was going on behind the scenes, you know. Seems like most of that job I spent defending the teenagers from the church. That's where I put the most energy, behind the scenes when the kids weren't there. I was at meetings defending their right to exist in the church. And I feel like that's politics. That's state and national politics in America. You're defending your constituents. If it were me, if I became a politician, I think I would spend most of my time defending my constituents' right to exist to politicians who see it otherwise, who think corporate profits trump the lives, and that word's been ruined forever. You know, who think that corporate profits are more worthy of protection than human lives. So yes, perhaps I have been prepared for life in politics, and no, I'm not saying I'm going to do that tomorrow. I'm not going to run for anything tomorrow. I'm just saying, whenever I look at a big problem in the world I live in, I look for ways that I can be part of the solution. And maybe for now, just talking about it is good enough, but you never know. You never know where the road's gonna lead you when you're determined, when you make the conscious decision to be true to yourself in life. You never know where the road's gonna lead you, and where those critical decisions at critical junctures, if you come to a fork in the road and you have to determine which path is the truest to yourself. You just never know what choices are going to be thrown at you, where making the choice to be true to yourself is going to take you in a completely different direction than you ever saw yourself going. But yeah, that's my rant. That's my rant for today. Maybe this is a good place to end this vlog. It's been going for 3 days. Looks like we're coming out of the worst of this winter storm. And, I hope, if you're watching this, I hope your friends and family were as fortunate as mine. Because I know not everyone made it out of this freeze. And yeah, changes must be made. And if you feel like me, consider it. How can you be a part of the solution while also remaining fully true to yourself? Maybe you should run for office. Maybe I'd vote for you. But, everybody has to make those determinations for themselves. I would so much rather just curl up and let it all happen around me and not worry about it, but here I am worrying about it, so it is a problem. It affects my life, it affects the life of the people I love. So, hiding under a rock it's not being part of the solution. So, food for thought. I'll be chewing on those words that just shot out my mouth. But yeah, no rush here. I am in no rush to get into politics, but there are other ways you can get involved without actually running for office. But yeah, so this is the vlog. I might start another one up tomorrow, but we'll see. We'll see how interesting life gets for the rest of the week. But I think we're out of this little winter freeze narrative pretty much. So yeah, that's all I've got for you right now. And I'll talk to you next time.